Welcome to the Built for Playmakers YouTube channel. I'm your host, Kelvin Hunt. Hope you guys are doing well. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Duke Blue Devils defense. They'll be playing FSU this weekend. Big matchup in Tallahassee, primetime, box office boys back in the building. So I know the biggest question mark going into this game is how does FSU's offense match up against Duke's defense? Especially considering that Duke's starting quarterback probably won't play in the game, or if he does, he's going to be extremely limited. So really, that's the strength of that team. Excuse me, with Mike Elko as the head coach, former defensive coordinator, and they rank very highly when you look at the stats and everything. Even in advanced metrics, they rank really highly. But and looking at them, I'm not quite as sold on them being as good as a lot of people think. So we're going to get into it. You know how we do. We look at the footage of some past games and see what we can find out from looking at the footage. So if you can, man, go ahead and like this video. It's going to be great content as always. Appreciate the support you guys are giving me. And so we're going to get into it. But before we get into it, let me just talk about this. So when you look at the Duke's defense, they've played two decent offenses. Clemson in the first game, which was Cade Klubnik's first game as a starting quarterback in Garrett Riley's new offense, right? And it's on the road. Even with those circumstances, Clemson moved the ball pretty well and turned the ball over twice, pretty much getting ready to score with two fumbles. So that's 14 points right there. They missed two field goals. That's 20 points. And then they had a turnover that gave Duke the ball at midfield, which Duke eventually scored on. So when you look at it in that sense, Clemson was able to run the ball, and you'll see some clips on that. And Klubnik wasn't bad throwing the ball. He just got happy feet a few times, and things were moving really fast for him. Like I said, his first game of the year on the road in a new offense. When you look at the other team, Notre Dame, that Duke went up against, Sam Hartman. Everybody, we all know Sam Hartman. But when you look at Sam Hartman without the slow mesh that he had at Wake Forest, totally different quarterback. When you look at Sam's stats this season, a lot of his productions came against subpar teams like NC State, Navy, Central Michigan, and other teams like that. So against USC's terrible defense. So when you look at the matchup this weekend with FSU, you got a quarterback in Jordan Travis who's been around a long time, knows the offense, as good as you can know it probably. And Clemson nor Notre Dame have the weapons that Jordan Travis will have at his disposal. The game's at home. And, Mike Elko is not going to be able to throw anything at Jordan Travis that he hasn't seen already, nor will this defense from Duke be comparable to Clemson's defense from this year, Clemson's defense from last year, other defenses that Jordan Travis is going up against. So it's not like Duke's just a crazy talented just machine out there. They're well coached, yeah, but Mike Elko doesn't have the same horses that, say, FSU has or Clemson has. And, being well coached, while it does make up for some deficiencies, it can only take you so far. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's see what we can find here. All right. So we're going to look at some Notre Dame footage first. So in this particular instance, we're going to look at pass pro, right? So Duke doesn't, they don't light the world on fire as far as, getting after the quarterback. They only have 14 sacks on the season, and I think something like 23 QB hurries. But they do defend the pass well. But again, you got to consider who their competition level is, right? So here they got 4 down linemen, a lot of guys on the here 2nd and 9. So let's see what they do. So Hartman's got all day to throw the ball. They rushing 4. That they're not going to really pose too much of a problem for an offense like FSU. And he hits the tight end up the seam here. Nice throw from Hartman. I mean, he's got all day to throw the ball. So 2nd and 9. I mean, you kind of thinking like, that's it's a passing down, and they just rush 4. So if they rush 4 against FSU, I mean. Yeah, but they may do that though. They may just rush 4 and drop 7, and try to not get beat over the top with 2 safeties high. And I think they'll probably do something like that, and then try to force FSU to execute 8, 9, 10 play drives and not give up the explosive, and hope that FSU either has a drop pass or has a false start, something to get them behind the chains. To hopefully give them an advantage there. So that's probably going to be the play. And FSU hasn't been the most efficient. I shouldn't say efficient, but at times they just stall and just have crazy stuff happen, and go quick 3 and outs. So that's something that Elko's probably banking on, that they'll do a few times in this game, and they'll probably try to shorten the game, keep FSU's offense off the field. So let's go with this one here. Let's see. And this one, okay. So another thing that happens with Duke's defensive front is they leave huge gaps at times that a mobile quarterback can kind of escape through. And we saw that with Klubnik in the season opener. I think he rushed for quite a few yards against them. So watch Hartman here. And look at this. Look at this area right here. I mean, he could run right through there if he wanted to. He could hit this guy here. He could hit, well, he waited too late, but look at that. This guy here is following this receiver. If he wanted to run up there, he could get 6, 7 yards easy. I mean, he could still take off, but he's eyeing this guy down here, and he sees the safety come down, and it's too late. But against the mobile quarterback, and even in the NC State game last week with MJ Morris, who that was his first start this season, I think it was, he'd had opportunities to run just like this, and he didn't run enough to take advantage of it. Here again, this is going to be Notre Dame's offensive line. Now, granted, they have a good offensive line in pass pro. And again, he's got all day to throw. Hits the tight end. Look at this hole right here. Look at this hole right here that he could run into if he wanted to. Linebacker's way over here. See, he could run through that, hit this guy. So that's a nice throw off his back foot, actually. Yeah. So let's take a look at this one. So this is again over the middle seems to be a vulnerability of this Elko defense here. Again, watch the pass pro on this. They got 1, 2, 3. What's that? 3, 6 guys in the box here. They rush 3, then bring two guys late, and then this guy here. So still got 6 in there. Wide open. He's got all day. Look at this. So take that take that into consideration as far as pass pro. They don't get after the quarterback that greatly. FSU faced a defense last week that was even more aggressive and blitzed a bit more and handled it pretty well against Syracuse. And again, you're not going to throw too much at Jordan Travis that he hadn't already seen. But the key to FSU really putting it on Duke this week will be in the run game. You can run on Duke. Clemson ran on Duke pretty well. Notre Dame wasn't terrible running the ball against Duke. And so you can get them up the middle. You can spread them out with your formations, spread your wide receivers out. And so we're going to look at, I think I have 4 or 5 different clips here. This is Phil Maffa from Clemson, gashing them up the middle here. Look at that. And so the key to this run is he's patient, right? Watch this. He's real patient, and he sees a seam and he hits it. Look at that. That little stutter step, and there's a hole. Boom, he's out. Let's look at that one more time. That's a nice run. So really it's this linebacker right here. Whoop. That was a key to it there. All right, so we're gonna go to this one. This is Shipley. I'm trying to remember. I think he takes this one wide, I think. Yeah. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you got this guy coming. Okay, so here we go. So you got your lead blocker here. So it's going to be up to him to seal this. And you just hope that Shipley's fast enough to outrun this guy. So you're going to have numbers when you got this guy and this guy, and this guy's leading. And so Shipley's faster than, he's out there. So this guy's going to sync up on this guy. That's it. It's beautiful execution, man. All right. This one is Maffa going up the middle. So you see, look, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the box. 8 guys. 8 guys in the box. Safety, single safety, DB here. So Clemson's able to clean those guys up, give Maffa. Again, Maffa is using a good patience here on this run. Watch, watch this. Yeah, oh, that was nice. So, yeah, Duke's not going to just push the line of scrimmage back, so to speak. I mean, they're physical, but they're not, like, huge. So I think we're going to be able to have some success running the ball, especially after what I saw against Syracuse last week. And Syracuse was better against the run than Duke has been as far as the numbers perspective goes. This is what I think we may see too. So this is what I was talking about, with your formations spreading. So you got the defense spread out here. 2 guys here, 2 guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So you get a 5-man box here. They're going to eat this up. This linebacker comes. Watch this. The C's part. Yeah. You run out there with a 5-man box you want to. You're gonna have to bring these safeties down eventually. And when you bring these safeties down, that's when things really going to get off, because Duke does. I mean, they have good corners, but they don't have corners like Clemson does. So you're not going to see anything better than what you've seen thus far this year. So just keep that in mind. And this is another big Shipley run here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box there. Look at this. So Shipley gets the ball here. He reads this linebacker. This linebacker shoots this gap. He's like, I'm going this gap. Whoop. Good blocking. That's going to be really big. Your perimeter blocking by the FSU wide receivers is going to be really big in this game, and they did an excellent job the last couple of games and getting their blocks off for the most part. So yeah, so if Duke doesn't commit to, they're gonna have to commit to 6, 7, 8 guys in the box to stop the run, in my opinion. And if they do that, then I don't think they feel like their guys are as good as Clemson. Clemson was like, hey, we'll give you, we're going to commit to stop the run, and we don't think you can beat us, with your guys one-on-one. Ultimately, they paid the price. It took a while, but it paid the price. I don't think Duke is built like that, right? So here you got 5 guys, and I mean, it's easy peasy. That's easy. Yeah. So that's what you're looking at with Duke, man. Duke is well coached. They play hard. They are aggressive, but at the same time, it's all about the matchups. And again, the two offenses they've seen that are the two best offenses they've seen are both teams that have new quarterbacks and a new scheme. And one of those guys, it was on the road, first game of the year. And he still played pretty well considering. It was just the turnovers that killed Clemson in that particular game. 3 turnovers. Now Duke had 2 turnovers, but Duke still won the turnover battle. And but when you look at Clemson and Notre Dame combined, they combined, those two teams average around a little less than 6 yards a play, I think it was. So, FSU comes to this contest averaging 7 yards a play. And again, that's including, playing a talented defensive front in LSU. Now, the secondary was trash, but talented defensive front. You got Clemson, obviously. Syracuse's defense, again, statistically is in the upper third or so of college football. They're probably not now after facing FSU, but they face teams that have been stout against the run, and FSU the last couple of weeks seems to have found some things to ever since the bye week that they can kind of lean towards and get that run game going. So that's the key. If they can get the running game going, if they use Jordan Travis in the running game, that's going to open things up. And then it's going to be pick your poison with Duke. But again, I still think Elko is probably going to see if he can shorten the game, make FSU execute down the field, and hopefully again, like I said, they'll have a drop or a miscommunication or a false start or something to get him off schedule, and then he may try to bring some pressure or something like that. But again, Jordan Travis is really good historically against the blitz. So it's like, do you really want to blitz him like that? Considering the weapons that he has. I mean, he's got, I showed some footage in the game when we were looking at the Clemson game. Also, Clemson did a really good job of hitting their backs out of the backfield against Duke's linebackers. So they're susceptible to mismatches with skill players. So that's something to keep an eye on. They can use that as an extension of the run game if they want to. And yeah, as long as they don't turn the ball over, crazy times, which knock on wood, that's something that they've done an excellent job with, is just not turning the ball over. I think they're going to put up numbers on this Duke team, especially if Duke's offense, if they can't really do much. That kind of is what happened against Syracuse. Syracuse's offense couldn't generate anything, and so their defense was on the field the whole time and basically got gassed. And so that's something that is a possibility with Duke on the road Saturday night. If their offense can't generate much and their defense is out there, they have some guys, but they don't have just depth like that to not have a fall off. So something to think about, man. I think I'm not as worried about this Duke game like some people. Some people think it's going to be, uh, you know, it seems like they're almost more worried about this game than they were the Clemson game or something. I don't know, kind of weird to me, but just looking at the footage, it's nothing that FSU hasn't seen before. They've seen much better defenses, more talented guys, and they faced well coached defenses before. And not only that, I mean, Mike Norvell and Alex Atkins are among the best as far as looking at footage like we're doing right now and identifying strengths and weaknesses and where they need to attack. I mean, they're excellent guys at doing that. And then kudos to their whole team. And they got a whole team of analysts, that have been looking at this stuff since the offseason. So, but when it comes to game planning and finding ways to scheme things up or to set plays up, you're not going to find many guys better than Mike Norvell. So knowing those things, like I said, I feel confident in the game. It kind of sucks that Riley Leonard's probably not going to be able to play or not be 100%. You never want to hear that excuse. You never want to see a guy get hurt either. So, but at the same time, we've been in that situation where our quarterback's been hurt and we've had to trot out, backup out there, and you just got to take your medicine. It's just part of the game. So, but yeah, man. But if you like this video, you feel like it was, you gained something from it. We would appreciate the likes. If like I said, that's how we get this more out there to more people. And subscribe if you haven't. We do this every week, along with other videos that we look at when it comes to FSU football and other sports as we get into other seasons. But again, appreciate the support, man. And we'll try to get one more video to you guys this week if possible. Time is running short for me this week. It feels like it's been a crazy week already. But again, appreciate you guys, and go Noles.